Today, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar leads the Los Angeles Lakers, a club that needs to win badly to get back in playoff contention, against the Indiana Pacers.
Nice smile.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Big. Very friendly. You're meeting the people. You're meeting the people. Very friendly. You're smiling at them.
Are you telling me that you're a pro at this?
Well, we're back at Indianapolis, Indiana. And here at the Market Square Arena, the building is sold out with Hoosier basketball fans as the Indiana Pacers are set to go after the Los Angeles Lakers. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Criqui, and this is Cazzie Russell. For 11 years, a standout in the NBA. Cazzie, your old club, the Lakers, is in need of a win now. They can't afford to fall much farther behind.
That's right, Don. They started off the road trip in great style with a big victory in New York. They have a lot of new personnel, but they need a big game from the franchise, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What's been his problem in the last few games?
It's tough to say. He may be in a little slump now, and most of the players are trying to pick him up, so I think he'll have a good game today.
And, of course, the Lakers have a lot of new personnel. They now have Charlie Scott in their lineup. Sweet Lou Hudson's been with them all season. He's starting in the backcourt today. Jamal Wilkes down from Golden State. They're really piecing this team together. I think Jerry West doesn't have it in complete cohesion yet. He will shortly, though, I think.
It'll take a little time. They have a lot of good players, as you say.
So right now, the Lakers wearing their Forum Blue uniforms. Come on out onto the playing floor. Adrian Dantley, a big part of the Los Angeles offense now. He's averaging over 24 points a game since he came here from Indiana. There are the Lakers. They'll have Dantley and Wilkes at the forwards, Jabbar at center, Norm Nixon, a standout rookie from Duquesne, playing in the back line with the veteran Lou Hudson. And for Indiana, Mike Banham and Ron B. Hagen at the forwards, James Edwards, a former Laker, is at center, Sobers in the backcourt with Tatum. Now John Williamson is starting in the backcourt, a last-minute switch for the Los Angeles Lakers. For Indiana, and here now as we start the opening play, the Lakers come down on the run. Adrian Dantley looks inside and goes to Norm Nixon, who gets the ball up. Rebound comes down to Edwards. So they come out running, Cazzie.
I tell you, the Lakers, both Indiana and the Lakers, feel that they can run with the ball, both taking quick shots that time. I think the pace will probably slow up just a little bit now.
Sobers drills it from the deep outside. The first points are on the board. It's a 2-0 game, Indiana. Here is Nixon. He's getting a lot of ball time out there. The rookie from Duquesne, a #1 draft choice. Gets it down low. Kareem can't get it to go, and down with the basketball is Ricky Sobers. Guns the ball up court to Earl Tatum, the former Laker, and now John Williamson, who's the leading scorer in Indiana with 19 a game, hits his favorite shot, a little fall-away jump.
I tell you, John Williamson is an excellent shooter from the outside, both he and Ricky Sobers, and so the Lakers are going to have to clamp down on both of those guards.
Kareem comes out high. Lou Hudson goes back door on Sobers inside, and we have a whistle.
The Lakers like to run patterns if they can. At that one particular time, they brought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar up high with a pass down low to Lou Hudson. And he was fouled by Ricky Sobers before he got the shot off.
Kareem comes down with the rebound. They try to block him away from the ball, and he can't get the skyhook to go. And Dantley, who works so well off the offensive board, just gets in there and digs and gets points up. And it's a 4-2 game, Indiana.
I tell you, that's his strong forte, getting that ball off the board. And he's a great offensive rebounder, so they're going to have to keep him off the board.
John Williamson, as the defense stays tight with him, and Lou Hudson gets it out to Mike Banham. Now they go over to the weak side. Sobers playing way away from the ball, gets it, comes down, and feeds off to Edwards. And Indiana, who was the victor earlier this season in the meeting with the Lakers when Kareem did not play, goes out in front 6-2.
James Edwards is an excellent shooter, and I think the game that he had against Indiana might have triggered that trade that brought him here. As we see Lou Hudson going down low and looks like I have a foul before. No, 3 seconds.
So a violation against the Lakers, and the ball now turns over to the Indiana Pacers. Williamson working with Sobers in the backcourt. Sobers came here from Phoenix in a trade that sent Don Boussy Out to Phoenix, and that's turned into a real good club, isn't it, Kaz?
Well, I tell you, Phoenix has really played well. Usually it's really helping them as we get a call. Mike Banham drives to the basket. They felt that Sobers added a little punch here, and of course.
Let's watch him again now. Here comes Banham down the side of the lane, and
I think he got fouled before that.
Yeah, he did, and the Pacers come back and get it to go now. Rolling off, the Lakers come up with a basketball, trailing 6-2 with 9:29 to play in the first quarter. Here's another foul call.
The referees seem like they're trying to keep the game in control right off the bat. We've had 2 or 3 quick fouls early in the contest.
Jamal Wilkes will inbound the ball as Nixon comes down low and comes back outside. Lakers opening it up now. And we have some people pushing and shoving, and they're going to call it on Kareem. Williamson was fronting him and pushing at him, and Kareem shoved him back, and Kareem gets the whistle. Now he might have a tee coming up, Kaz. Thought I heard another whistle. Apparently not. Banham takes a look and fires away. Nixon goes for the basketball with Sobers, and they ruled that Ricky Sobers was the last to touch it, so it comes back into Los Angeles. Lakers trail 6-2 in the first quarter. Sweet Lou Hudson, a 14-point-a-game scorer at Los Angeles, a 22-point-a-game scorer throughout his long career in the NBA. Down low, it's Kareem's third shot that he can't get to go. Hudson follows it up. Lakers get a third try, and finally the ball is tipped away by Tatum. Tried to save it as Williamson, and the ball comes back into Los Angeles.
Don, I tell you one thing right now, early in this game, Indiana's going to have to keep L.A. off the board. They're sending a lot of players to the offensive board.
Right now, with 8:56 left to play in the first quarter, we have a timeout here at Indiana. The score, the Pacers 6 and the Lakers 2. All right, I have some. First of all, we've got to get a stats man. Are you a stats man? I want to have a guy. Each guy's name has to be down how many points he gets. That's number one. And whenever a foul's committed, you got to point to who the foul is on. Back to live action at Indiana. Don Criqui with Cazzie Russell, and the Lakers now get their third and fourth points on the field goal hit. It is 6-4 game.
Jamal Wilkes with a fine jump shot from the left-hand corner. As Earl Tatum knocks in a 20-footer. Earl Tatum's an excellent shooter, and they feel he's a good acquisition to their ball club.
Tatum out of Marquette, a very good shooter, plays without the ball a great deal of the time. And here comes Norm Nixon, the man who is quarterbacking the Lakers, pumping it in and out. He's got a lot of speed. He can accelerate into that open lane if it does open up. Another foul.
They feel that Norm Nixon is really a key to their ball club. Of course, John Williamson committed the foul there. And Norm does have a lot of speed, and he handles the ball real well as he directs traffic. I think just called a play.
Kareem goes 0 for 4. He's going to try it again. And the big guy is 0 for 5 from the field. It's an 8-4 game, and Indiana comes down to the run as Sobers takes it right to the basket. A little too much on it. Banham working it. Here comes Nixon. Wrong guy got the basketball. John Williamson back to Sobers, rejected by Kareem.
Although Kareem is having trouble with his scoring right now, he is playing aggressive defense. The other day he had 6 blocked shots against Philadelphia, so he saved a basket there, Don.
There's Bob Leonard. He was a teammate of Jerry West back in 60 and 61 out at Los Angeles. Williamson tries to make the shot go. Kareem takes it down, looks for the outlet, finally gets Jamal Wilkes coming up on the run. Outside to Hudson, the Lakers working plays here early in the game. Now the big guy comes down to the free throw line, takes a look inside. The ball is knocked away by Williamson and saved into the wrong man, Jamal Wilkes. He puts Tatum away with a head fake, but can't get the shot to go, and Adrian Dantley comes up with the offensive rebound. Kareem is really frustrated. Finally, on his 6th field goal attempt, he gets it down, and it's 8-6 game, Indiana by 2. Cassie?
I think you can credit that one to Adrian Dantley. Again, Adrian Dantley is strong inside, and everybody's watching Kareem, and he's going to the board.
Tatum gets the ball outside of Sobers, down low to Williamson. Here is Banham taking a look inside, makes a move on the ball, and Kareem has his second reject.
Again, he's playing good defense during this stretch, and of course he's just in a little slump right now, and he's going to come out of it.
Jerry West, the Laker coach, was critical of his team's overall effort against Buffalo after the Lakers won a real good game at the Garden against the New York Knicks. They went up to Buffalo, were beaten by a point, and what was their poorest performance of the season, he felt, I think, has.
I'm sure that playing the Knicks, they had a great ball game, and then, of course, they felt they should have beaten Buffalo and had a mental letdown. Look at the...
can we get a lot less volume from Marv Muse? It's almost impossible to talk it so loud when he's counting down. Hello. Can you hear me in the truck? Hello, truck. Hello. We need a lot less volume from Marv Muse counting down. It's almost impossible to talk it so loud. You do? What's wrong? Yes, keep that punch, keep that level up,
Okay.
Yeah.
Dropping down just a little bit.
Yeah, keep projecting. We have 6:56 to play in the first quarter here at Indiana. The Pacers are leading the Los Angeles Lakers 8-6 early in the game. Los Angeles not hitting for good percentage, but they are working hard, trying to get that inside work.
I tell you, and when you get a lot of shots inside, your percentage has got to go up a little bit, and I'm sure Kareem is going to bring that percentage up. He's not making his shots right now, but that's really important for him. I think he'll start scoring.
The rebounding is a decided advantage for Los Angeles. The Lakers have out-rebounded Indiana 12-2 so far. Indiana in white with the ball. There is Sobers going one-on-one with Norm Nixon. The height advantage. Sobers shoots it over him.
I mentioned earlier about that matchup. Sobers feels he can take Norm Nixon down in low and work on him because he is a good shooter downside.
Sobers is a strong physical player. As Jamal Wilkes drives baseline and puts it up, he draws the foul. Could have gotten the three-point play of the ball going down for him. So he'll go to the free throw line and shoot two.
Okay, a lot of times Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the ball, and a lot of his players will start to cut toward the basket, and he'll give him a good pass because he is a good passing center.
Mike Banham got the personal foul. It's his second. There's Jamal Wilkes hitting the free throw. He'll try another one. Wilkes coming into the game with a 14-point-a-game average. And it's now a 10-8 game. The Lakers again trail by 2. Sobers moving with the ball, goes to Tatum, and here is Banham as Indiana's taken some of the Lakers on a free side and going one-on-one and putting the ball up. That time they can't get it to go, and the Lakers come down with a chance now to tie the game. Kareem coming from off the play as Dantley takes it inside. Not quite enough there. Again, he gets his own rebound. Again, he gets his own rebound. If at first you don't succeed, but Adrian Dantley cannot get it to go, and here comes Indiana.
Boy, it's amazing. On the fast break here, we see Earl Tatum pulling up for a 15-footer and missing, and there's James Evans.
Kareem takes it down, and now at 7-2, he leads the break. Goes to Jamal Wilkes, but Indiana's back to shut it off. Nixon looks for motion inside, and we're going to have a foul on Williamson as he tried to slap the ball away from Adrian Dantley. He also hit Dantley.
Adrian Dantley again is really marvelous inside. You know what he's going to do.
How he does it.
Well, I tell you, they say he's really strong in the upper part of his body, and that could be one of the main reasons why he gets so many rebounds inside and goes back up with it.
John Williamson was charged with the personal foul as second. Indiana now has 5 team fouls, so the penalty could benefit the Lakers the rest of this first quarter with 5:50 to play in it.
It sure could. Of course, Adrian Dantley is shooting more free throws than anybody in the league thus far with 336. As he misses his first, but he'll get another.
So it is now a 1-point game. Indiana leads Los Angeles 10-9. Williamson with some good faking gets the ball down off the backboard. And it's a 12-9 game. Indiana by 3. Working in the backcourt now is Charlie Scott with Lou Hudson. They've taken Norm Nixon out. But a little bit more height in the backcourt. Scott plays at 6'6". Kareem hooks it up. A little too much on the ball, and Sobers outfights people, and we're going to have a problem here because people swinging and hitting inside, and Kareem has been pushed again. Williamson getting the lead on the flank, drives it down. And Indiana opens up its biggest lead, 14-9. Now the Lakers come down and throw the ball away.
I tell you, they have to go inside, and when they throw the ball into Kareem, the Lakers are standing around. They're going to have to get more movement.
Lakers doubling up on the ball, but as Lou Hudson takes a swing at it, he got some of Earl Tatum.
Earl Tatum looked like he was trying to do a little one-on-one that time. It might not have been a very good foul on Lou Hudson's part that time.
For the first time, number 5, Tom Abernathy.
The Lakers come into this game with a record of 17-20 so far in the year. And they are right now a game behind Seattle in the Pacific Division. And, of course, Portland and Phoenix way up in that division. And here comes Kareem at 7'2", his marvelous dexterity despite his great height. Putting the ball on the floor. Down low they go to Dantley. He puts it on the ground and gets a step closer and gets it in. It's a 14-11 game.
It's amazing how he gets those shots off up under the basket at being only 6'5" down. But again, you saw it there as Charlie Scott is putting pressure on Ricky Sobers.
Dantley now scored 5 for Los Angeles. Here's a foul call. It's going to go on Charlie Scott. Lakers with 4 team fouls. That's the first on Scott. Abernathy in the game for Los Angeles. Kareem tips it away from Edwards. Down low they go to Sobers, moving against Charlie Scott. Sobers looking for points, and here is a tip that Mike Banham has a little good fortune with.
Again, Mike Banham is inside with a good tip in. You're going to have to keep Mike Banham off the board because he is a good 6'9".
16-11, Indiana's in the lead. Kareem takes it down low, moves on Edwards, and Edwards, seeing the big guy go right by him, just picks him on the arm to stop the shot.
First of all, you cannot let Kareem have the ball. You cannot let Kareem have the ball that close to the basket. And when he does, you're going to get in trouble again with fouls. So James Edwards is going to have to keep Kareem away from the middle, from the skyhook, if he possibly can.
Kareem's got those good super wide vision glasses on.
Goggles on to protect himself. He's for a while when he first started using those down, they obstructed his view somewhat, but of course he's gotten used to it now.
Norm Nixon is now back in the game as the Los Angeles Lakers are putting people in and out, trying to get that chemistry going and get the points up. They trail 16-12, but Kareem will shoot again. He has 3 points now. Nixon, Dantley, Kareem, Abernathy, and Scott are in the game for the Lakers. Banham and Sobers. Sobers has the ball in there for Indiana along with Edwards. John Williamson pumping it up from the deep outside, but not getting it to go down is Tatum. And here comes Los Angeles trailing by 3 is Nixon. Looks for the passing lanes to fill. Charlie Scott. Nicely rebounded by Earl Tatum inside. Here comes Sobers with a double team on the ball, and Kareem steals it. Lead pass to Dantley. Driving on Edwards. Basket goes, and there's a foul on the play. A big, big play by Adrian Dantley brings the Lakers to within 1. They can tie the game on the free throw.
Don, you can see the desire that Adrian Dantley goes to the basket. He has his mind made up that he's going to get it, and he goes in strong and he gets the foul, and that's a big plus for him because he does go to the basket hard when he takes the ball there. That's another reason why he's shooting more free throws than anybody in the league as he makes his first free throw.
Dantley from nearby Notre Dame up in South Bend, about 100 miles north of here. He's in his 3rd team now and only his 2nd year in the league. He was Rookie of the Year last season with the Buffalo Braves, traded to Indiana, then out to Los Angeles. And Indiana gets it to work. Bob Leonard will take that. Thank you very much, says Bob Leonard. 6 points now for Sobers in the game. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 18-16, Indiana's in the lead. They've led throughout the first quarter, led by as many as 5 points. Dantley goes to Kareem, takes a look, give and go to Dantley. I don't know how Dantley gets up over guys. Roundfields in the game, rejects the ball. He wasn't supposed to play because of a cut wrist. And now Indiana comes back the other way as a big pullback of the player. John Williamson gets the ball inside, and Sobers pulls up and fires from 20. Here comes Nixon. He can go with the basketball. Doesn't lose a step when he has it. Scott roundly crashed inside. They will hit you down there, won't they, Gaz?
I tell you,
for the foul, his first.
Non-contact.
Los Angeles.
We have.
He does get a lot of offensive rebounds at times for a big guard.
All right. Here's what we need. We need very much. We need when you come up. Can you hear me, Bob? All right. When you call a replay, just say replay. Please don't say anything else like describe the action or here it comes. It's very you're very loud and through no fault of your own. Just give us one word on replay, and please try not to call camera shots when we're on.
I don't know how Adrian Dantley does it, but nobody's watching him. They're all watching Kareem.
Good. Talk about that. Keep that level up, though, that enthusiasm level. Very good.
Dantley feels that he's got to be the only rookie of the year to be traded.
With Cassie Russell, this is Don Criqui back at Indianapolis, Indiana. The Los Angeles Lakers coming out in their traveling uniforms, the Forum Blue, as it's called. Looks more like purple to some.
Well, you better not let Jack and Cook hear you call it purple. He likes that Forum Blue as Dave Robish enters the game for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Lakers right now going with Abernathy, Nixon, Dantley, Charlie Scott is with the free throw line, and Dave Robish, who is formerly at Indiana. This is like a come-back home meeting for some of these guys.
Yes,
a lot of faces change teams in these two clubs. Charlie Scott, recently in from the Boston Celtics. It's 18-18. The game is all tied up now with 2:24 to go in the first quarter. Ricky Sobers matched up against Charlie Scott. Gets the ball out to Ronfield. Here comes Madden. We're going to have a loose ball foul call down low, and play is stopped here. A loose ball foul. Both teams over the limit.
Call a foul on Dave Robish that time. It was good defense.
Now for a report on the Chicago-Denver game, let's go to Frank Lever and Steve Jones in Denver. Way up. Who scored for Indiana? Welcome back to Indianapolis. This is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell. Our score is Indiana 22, the Los Angeles Lakers 18, with 1:10 to play in the first quarter. While we were away, Len Elmore hit a couple of free throws for Indiana, and Ricky Sobers hit a field goal. He's the leading scorer with 8 points, so the tie's been broken, and Indiana's back up again by 4. Now the Lakers trying to inbound the ball, throw it away. Yes?
And the Lakers have trouble getting that ball in bounds as Ricky Sobers put a little pressure on Norm Nixon in the backcourt, causing the turnover.
How much have the Lakers changed in their style of play with these new acquisitions over the club you were with last year when you won 53 regular season games?
Well, they've made a big change. Of course, with Adrian Dantley inside, they've changed the game a little bit now. They bring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out high, put Adrian down low, whereas last year we did a lot of things from the outside.
And Kareem was down low a good part of the time.
Right.
Throwing those high arcers in. At the free throw line is Len Elmore. Can't get it to go. It is a 22-18 game with 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. We'll also be updating you today on the Boston at Philadelphia game, as the Celtics, under their new coach Tom Sanders, were told another coach bit the dust last night. Kansas City. Phil Johnson is reportedly out.
Oh, that's a surprise there.
Lots of surprises.
And probably more to come, too, Don.
Has something to do with winning and losing.
That's right.
Abernathy gets the ball over to Scott. Here is Nixon as Sobers drops off him. Robish playing down low. And Dave Robish can't get it down. Abernathy tips it and gets the roll. And the Lakers are now down by 4, 24-20. First points for Tom Abernathy, a native Indianan. Went to Indiana University. Ball tipped away, but Earl Tatum working hard, gets it now, guns the ball into the lane to Mike Banham, who comes around, can't get it to go, but there's going to be a foul on Adrian Dantley on the play.
Adrian Dantley called for
Mike Banham, again, away from the ball, makes a cut to the middle. And, of course, Adrian Dantley had position, but the official thought otherwise and called the foul. Mike Banham is a very active player. He's a good, legitimate 6'9", and he's not a bad shooter.
"17 seconds to go. It is a 25-20 game with the Indiana Pacers now up by 6, their biggest lead in the game. The Lakers came back to tie it up at 18, but since then, they've been outscored 8-2 as we wind down the first quarter with Adrian Dantley lipping it down inside. Nixon coming off the baseline, puts it up and hits it. Bring the Lakers to within 4 as the first quarter comes to an end. Not without a good effort by Ricky Sobers to get a couple more up. So we'll be coming back to Indianapolis very shortly to go into the second period of play with Indiana in the lead, 26-22.
First Federal Savings and Loan celebrity shooter is Ron Ford.
Who are the officials? Don Murphy and who else?
That's Jake O'Donnell.
Jake O'Donnell.
And Benny Fryer, former Portland.
Warm-up shot, 75 on the line, 125.
I think that's Bernie Fryer.
200 if he makes the three-pointer. That's 75. Okay, Ron, now from the top of the circle for
Grand Prix, Masters coming back.
Now, with a big three-pointer, and
Keep that always be thinking enthusiasm level. Really, always be thinking enthusiasm level. I mean, overdo it, but you think you're overdoing it. Okay, sounds good.
Ron has just raised $200 for the Opportunities Industrialization Center, and we congratulate you. Don't forget the tickets for the remaining home games are available by mail through the advanced mail order forms at all the Marathon stations.
Following NBA basketball today here on CBS, you'll be seeing live from Madison Square Garden in New York the finals of the Grand Prix Masters Tennis Tournament and two of the premier players in the world. Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg meet for the men's championship. That's Grand Prix Masters Tennis coming up following NBA basketball here on CBS. As we now move into the second period of play, the Indiana Pacers lead the Los Angeles Lakers 26-22. This is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell in Indianapolis. Williamson gets the ball out to Ron B. Hagan, and he throws the basketball away. Robish touched it. So Indiana keeps it.
There's Ron B. Hagan out there. Ron B. Hagan, of course, came from Houston. And he's a good, strong inside player.
Elmore finds an open lane, but doesn't move with the ball too well with it. Now we're going to have a pushing foul inside. Dick O'Donnell right down on top of it. He's going to give a 3-second call.
There's probably a zone warning against the Lakers. That's a zone warning by the official to the Los Angeles Lakers, and they've been accused of playing that most of the year. And I knew right away when they called that's what they were going to be calling.
Awful lot of teams use a zone and try to.
It's disguised, but they use them, Don.
Who are some of the most notorious zone teams?
I better not say. Of course, the Lakers use it. Philadelphia uses the zone.
Anybody's got the big center.
That's right, and they try to keep him close around the basket.
26-22. L.A. trails by 4. Nixon and Scott work in the back line now. Kareem has 9 rebounds in this game. Los Angeles has turned the ball over 7 times, only 3 turnovers for Indiana. Los Angeles is shooting not that well in the game, early as it is. They're only hitting about 34%. 38% for Indiana. Earl Tatum coming down low and gets the ball but can't get the shot to go in. Robish with good position off the defensive board now kicks it out to Charlie Scott. The Lakers come down running it. Scott takes it from one end to the other. Elmore slaps it away. Williamson goes for the ball and Charlie Scott comes up with it. Out to Robish. Gets a free shot. Can't get it to go. Jamal Wilkes with the offensive board. Behagan working hard on him. Abernathy has it taken away and Charlie Scott finds the basketball again. Robish going to keep trying till he gets it right out there.
I tell you, Robish is not a bad shooter. Of course, he's having a little trouble right now taking shots from the outside. And it's not the kind of shot that the Lakers probably want to take at this point.
Charlie Scott working hard, and he draws the foul from Behagan. He also gets wrapped over the eye.
Norm Nixon made an
Charlie
excellent
Scott will
pass.
go to the free throw line. We'd like to welcome the fans who have just joined us here in Indianapolis. We'd like to welcome the fans who have just joined us here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers are in white, the Los Angeles Lakers in blue. And the score is Indiana 26, Los Angeles 24, with 10:31 to play in the second period. Charlie Scott has just gone baseline. He put the ball up and good, and he drew a foul on the play, so he's shooting for the three-point play. Len Elmore comes down with the rebound, and here comes Indiana. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is on the bench. He is rebounding well, but he's had trouble scoring in this game. This is his first 5 shots. Game has been tied twice. So it's 26-24. Indiana now goes up by 4. Norm Nixon working in the backcourt for Los Angeles. Gets the ball now over to Abernathy. And here is Charlie Scott taking a look as there's moving down the lane. Robish comes down low. They kick the ball out high to Wilkes. And that behind-the-head jumper works for him.
Jamal Wilkes, I'm sure the Lakers will use a few more jump shots from him. Jamal is a good shooter from the outside. Just hasn't been getting that many shots.
9:45 to go in the first half. Ron Behagan going to the basket for Indiana. He is fouled on the play. Charlie Scott got him right in the same spot, I think, didn't he?
Irritating with a pass into Ron Behagan, who likes to post down low and try to go toward his strength, which is what he likes to do.
Something about an eye for an eye. Behagan got Scott over the eye. Now I think Behagan's lost one of his contact lenses. So we have 10 guys, 6 feet 8, crawling around looking for a little thing the size of a pinhead. He got it. Kareem found it. That was a quick find. That can go on for a while.
You saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar walk over in the area where the contact lens was lying and fake like he was going to step on it. And, of course, Ron Behagan objected to that.
So Behagan has his eyepiece back in. Loosens up that wrist and maybe throws up a brick. Who knows?
I don't know. Because that could be another way of getting a few minutes of rest and losing a contact.
Precisely what he did. He put the brick up there. Now we're going to have a timeout. Jerry West wants to counsel his Los Angeles Lakers with 9:42 to play in the first half. The score is Indiana 28, Los Angeles 26. We'll be back at Indianapolis in a moment.
Congratulations from Van Fields and the Pacers.
Okay, something we can go over on the throws. Bill, you don't have to shout now. You come in real loud. We have a very loud headset pickup of the truck on any of those throws. You can keep it way, way down. It'd be a lot easier for us. And, yeah, I know you are. Okay, did the brakes go all right? Can you possibly close your key in the truck when we are feeding the other network, like we picked up the New York network? And I know you have to wait. The key was wide open the whole time that when we welcomed New York. When we welcomed Boston, Philadelphia. I had you, I had Bill, and I had Bob Dunphy all at once. Yep. Next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of Super Skates 4, featuring some of the world's best amateur and professional skaters in their most demanding routines. You'll see people like 16-year-old Linda Fradiani, JoJo Starbuck, and Ken Shelley. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. We have 9:42 to play in the second period here at Indiana. Ron Behagen hits the free throw to give Indiana a 3-point lead. That's his first point of the game. Nixon, quarterbacking the Lakers outside. He keeps the ball way out, waiting for things to develop, Ked.
It's what they want him to do is to set it up and try to get the ball into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he is developing into a fine playmaker, Don.
A lot of quickness, huh?
He does have a lot of quickness, and he can accelerate on that fast break, too.
Indiana with the ball. They have led by as many as 6 points in the game. Elmore fires up a shot and puts it up very softly. Big Len Elmore, who is a high school player in New York, was probably the most sought-after high school player in the country that year, and then headed out to the University of Maryland. Kareem puts the shot up. He is rejected by Roundfield. That doesn't happen often, and now Behagen gets the defensive board, gives to Williamson as Nixon harasses him coming up court. John Williamson will put it up if the opportunity's there. Behagen loses Jamal Wilkes briefly with a head fake and then gets it on the bank. And so it's a 33-26 game, and Indiana has its biggest lead.
I talked to Ron a little bit before the game, and Ron feels that one of his strong points is being able to shoot the ball from the outside as a big forward.
Well, he got that one to work. And now we have another whistle from official Bernie Fryer, stopping the clock with 8:27 left to play. That's the first period shooting. L.A. only hit 23%. It's not going to get you there.
No, that's not. Of course, Adrian Dantley has just come back in the ballgame for the Lakers. And Adrian, of course, is shooting about 52% from the field.
Lou Hudson, he's always been a good percentage shooter. In college, he was over 56% for his career. And he gets a lot of inside shots. He knows how to get them. There's a foul call on Roundfield.
Okay, when they throw the ball into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers are going to have more of this. You cannot stand and watch after you throw the ball in. And if you move, Kareem will give you the ball back, as we noticed there, Lou Hudson going in and ultimately got fouled.
There's Slick Leonard.
Oh, my, they gave him the basket on that, eh?
Yeah, basket went. Broke Slick's heart. 33-28 with 8:17 to play in the first half. Indiana with a 5-point lead. Lou Hudson at the free throw line. Can't get that to work, so here comes Indiana again. Hudson gets the ball away, but loses it out of bounds. Indiana will inbound the ball. Tatum working with Williamson in the backcourt.
I don't think Slick Leonard liked that too much. Of course, he's one of your more vocal coaches in the league.
Down low, they got the basketball to Earl Tatum, playing one-on-one with Nixon. Again, they try to take Nixon into the hole and post him, shoot over him. Roundfield gets the ball and working nicely off the assist from Elmore, and Indiana takes again the 7-point advantage, 35-28.
I'll tell you, Indiana's really going to the board. They got a lot of good jumpers in there. The Lakers going to have to block out. You can't allow a team to get that many shots at the basket.
Both coaches going to their bench often in this game, changing the mixture out on the court. And now the Lakers get it down. That brings the Lakers back to 35-30. Lou Hudson now has 4 points after the last field goal. Hagen follows it up and gets it.
I tell you, he's a good rebounding forward offensively. Again, they have a lot of action going back door, and Ron Hagen does go to the board pretty hard.
Both teams with a lot of people crashing the board trying to get back the basketball. Here's Williamson. Down on the far flank goes to Hagen. Not enough there, and Kareem tips it out to Dantley. Lead to sweep Lou Hudson in against Williamson. Rejected by Hagen, coming from off the play, and Indiana goes back on offense.
Good defensive play. Oh, boy. Roundfield wasn't expected to play today. Okay, Lou Hudson down on the break, made a good turn. Hagen comes back, makes a good defensive play. Williamson passed the ball to Tatum, who in turn passed it to Roundfield, who goes to the basket. And they called it on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He didn't have position.
So we're going to have a timeout with Indiana with its biggest lead, 39-30.
Could have gotten better position that time.
Good. How's it sound? Everything all right?
James and Harry. You remember him?
He shows up everywhere. Back to live action. This is Don Quickie with Cassie Russell, Indianapolis. Roundfield hits the free throw. Ford is now in the game for Los Angeles. Lakers trail by 10, 40-30. 6:42 to play in the second period. Tatum with some nice ball handling goes behind the back to Williamson. And John Williamson hits it off the run. And so now Indiana threatens to blow the game open, Cassie.
Indiana are playing very good defense. When they throw the ball into Kareem, he's putting the ball on the floor, and Indiana is sending 3 men at him. He's going to have to get that ball back out.
Indiana's actually getting a lot more motion and a lot more offense with Edwards out of the game right now. They've got a lot of quickness in, not as much height, but Roundfield's added a lot. He's been coming in and out, working hard off both boards. And now we're going to have Adrian Dantley at the free throw line as Roundfield just picked up his third personal foul. 5 team fouls in the Pacers here in the second period, only 2 on Los Angeles.
You see, Indiana does have a lot of players that are kind of in between forward and center, if that's possible. And they come outside and they go inside. And that way they get a lot more movement on their offense because these guys are real good jumpers and they move well.
Adrian Dantley has now scored 9 points for the Lakers. They are back to within 11. They had the game tied at 22. But now Indiana moving the ball up and down, taking advantage of an inordinate number of Los Angeles turnovers, has been moving out in front. Indiana with a 10-point lead. We have 6:19 to play in the first half. Earl Tatum hits Williamson down low, putting it up over Lou Hudson. Coming from off the play is Elmore, and his ball coming to Los Angeles.
Good hustle by Ron Hagen that time. I think had he gotten a handle on it, he might have had a layup.
Norm Nixon brings the Lakers up court. Los Angeles has been going with a pattern offense. They're trying to Kareem down, get him in position. He is being blocked hard. Williamson is working on him in a mismatch now. Indiana switching a lot on defense, and Nixon takes the pass back out and guns it in from the top of the key.
Well, Norm Nixon is getting a lot of confidence in the shooting, and you can tell, and he made a pretty good shot at that time.
He sure did. 42-34, an 8-point lead for Indiana. We have 5:45 to play in the first half.
Sweet Lou a little aggressive on the defense at one time, and Jake O'Donnell thought he came over the top.
Now, for a report on the Chicago-Denver game, let's go to Frank Lever and Steve Jones in Denver.
4 on the Lakers. Charlie Scott back into the Lakers lineup, replacing Lou Hudson, who leaves with 2 points, 3 fouls.
Let's go here. I tell you, look at Earl Tatum. You see, he's really playing relaxed ball, John.
See that? Keep the table in the middle line.
There's Earl Tatum with a good drive. Indiana continues to go to the board hard. And if they keep doing that, they're going to give Lakers a lot of trouble inside.
When you're talking in the air, use your hands. And you tend to animate much better. Just like inside, you know?
There you go.
Welcome you back to Indianapolis. This is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell. Our score is now Indiana 42, Los Angeles 34, and we have 4:59 to play in the first half.
I tell you, Indiana's really playing good basketball right now. They're going to the board, they're moving the ball on offense, and they're getting a lot of opportunity shots.
DeHagen takes a poor percentage shot, but Williamson gets the offensive board. John Williamson will play schoolyard with you. He can score. Here comes Tatum. Loose ball foul. It's going to go, it looks like, Len Elmore.
I tell you, that one particular sequence, the Indiana Pacers did not play smart basketball. They took 2 very bad percentage shots at that time. You don't want those kind of shots with this type of lead.
They've got the building just about filled here in Indianapolis as the Lakers come in for the second and last time this season in the regular season. First personal foul is on Don Ford. Don Ford at the free throw line. The personal foul was on Len Elmore, his first. Big guy from the beach, Don Ford.
Don Ford is one of your better running forwards. Gets up and down the floor very well. Hasn't seen that much action since the acquisition of Adrian Dantley.
Rebound comes down to Ronfield, who, as we mentioned earlier, wasn't expected to play today. He's got the bad wrist, but he's been playing well.
He's been playing well. I think that's what happens sometimes when you're not expected to play.
Don Ford is called for the foul, his first. Penalty in effect, Ron DeHagen with 5 points will be at the line for the Pacers. Ricky Silver's back into the Pacer lineup for Earl Tatum.
We'd like to welcome the fans who have just joined us here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers in white, the Los Angeles Lakers in the forum blue, and the score is Indiana 43, Los Angeles 35, with 4:23 left to play in the second period. The Lakers with the ball. Dantley's been playing excellent one-on-one basketball, getting inside that. Dantley with the ball, and here comes Indiana. They forced a lot of Los Angeles turnovers.
Good defense that time. Again, when they put the ball on the floor, Indiana sends 3 players, and the Lakers are being caught dribbling the ball and not looking for the open man.
Have an interesting contrast in this game. Los Angeles has a decided rebound advantage, but they've turned the ball over so much they've fallen behind. They were down by 12. They're now down by 8. Here come the Lakers running as Charlie Scott takes it in.
Well, the one good thing about Charlie Scott, he kind of weaves his way down. He'd rather pass the ball than take the shot. If the shot presents itself, he goes in and he took a fine shot then.
Dantley is the leading scorer in the game with 10 for Los Angeles. Here's John Williamson down low. Ford trying to get it. The ball was rejected clean by Kareem. Got it again, but they're going to call a foul, and the big guy don't like it.
Boy, I don't know. He went up.
Abdul-Jabbar, his third.
Kareem missed his first 5 shots of this game, but he's played a hard, intense game, and there's been a lot of contact underneath. Now watch him come up. He gets it now. He comes back over to block it again on Elmore. Looked pretty clean.
I know it did. It looked like he got it going up. It looked like a clean block to me. And Len Elmore makes his first free throw.
Len Elmore has now put up 7 points in the game. 44-37. Indiana is in the lead. And so with 3:37 to play in the first half, Indiana has a 45-37 lead. Dantley guns the ball over to Norm Nixon now, as Nixon is playing against Williamson, who is very quick to double up on Kareem, which he does. The ball was slapped away, looked like Elmore, and here comes Indiana again, forcing a turnover.
Well, I tell you, every time he puts the ball on the floor, they're sending 3 players at Kareem, as Ron Hagen takes a low percentage. Good rebound by Adrian Dantley on that particular play.
Los Angeles has turned the ball over 11 times in the game to just 4 times for Indiana. Nixon firing away. The little guy is starting to hit from the outside now. There is Coach West, Coach McCluskey, Coach Allbeck also there.
Norm Nixon is keeping the Lakers in the game right now.
Right.
He's made a couple of shots from the outside.
Norm Nixon's been a big factor for Los Angeles, staying as close as they are, and they're down 45-39. Len Elmore now has scored 10 as Indiana again opens up the 8-point lead.
Len Elmore has come off the bench and has played well. I mean, he's gotten 3 or 4 offensive rebounds, and they're going to have more of that from him.
Kareem puts it up, gets the basket, and cheers the call by official Joe Crawford. As the foul finally goes on Indiana. Kareem apparently feels it was a while since they got one. We're going to have a break in the action here with 2:28 to play in the first half.
Kareem is really getting frustrated because there's 3 men around him every time.
Halftime, by the way, will be the YMCA Indian guys that night as Kansas City next Friday, the 13th. And don't forget halftime today. Coming up, the Pepsi Hot Shot Regional Finals.
Very good. Yeah, he can't help it though. They can't. There's something wrong with the audio. That's why it's so loud. So you have to put up with this. What they can't help it. They bring it down if they could. We're real loud into their ear down there too. We're real loud into them down there too. It's just audio's a little loud. Keep that punch up, Kaz. Keep it coming. Bring the whole inside man out. Let it all hang. Yeah. Right.
I'm really impressed with the way Indiana is playing against Kareem.
Talk about that.
LA's been well scouted.
The CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, among other things, features World Cup skiing from Zweisel, West Germany. Ingemar Stenmark from Sweden. Amanda Watch in the slalom and the giant slalom events. You'll also see the great young skier from White Pass, Washington, 20-year-old Phil Mayer, who is ranked 7th in the world in the recent standings. That's part of CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, World Cup skiing from West Germany. We have 2:28 to play in the first half here at Indianapolis. The big man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, at the free throw line. And he brings the Lakers back to within 5. They trailed, you'll recall, by as many as 12 points here in the second period.
And for the one time, Kareem got the ball in low, and they allowed him to turn into the middle, and, of course, resulting in a 3-point play.
Elmore forces a long shot, and Banham working hard inside. The rebound, puts it back up, gets it down, and draws the foul.
I tell you, Indiana continues to go to the offensive board, and you can't give a team 2 or 3 shots. Here, Len Elmore takes the shot. Mike Banham gets the inside position on Don Ford. He gets a good bounce and goes up strong with the ball, resulting in a 3-point play.
And he converted the 3 points. So now the Indiana Pacers have the 8-point lead, 50-42. Looking at some of the scoring, the leading scorers for Los Angeles. Dantley has 10. Kareem has 7. Wilkes has 6. And it breaks down. 8 points for Nixon now, all on field goals. Getting that good outside. Kareem loses the ball again to Elmore. Here comes Sobers, leading to Elmore, and Nixon looked like he had position. He did. So he draws the offensive foul from Elmore and gets the ball back over to the Lakers.
That's good defensive position by Norm Nixon that time.
Lakers have turned the ball over 12 times in the game. Indiana just 4. The Lakers have out-rebounded Indiana 27-19. Lakers going with a controlled offense. Indiana's done a nice job scouting Los Angeles, I think, Kaz.
They really have. Now, Kareem turns to take the fall-away jump shot, and that's the kind of shot they want him to take. They prefer that rather than the sky hook.
They haven't given him too many good shots. Kareem hitting that now, has 9 points in the game, and it's again a 6-point advantage for Indiana. Pacers going on the perimeter now, gunning that ball around the outside. The old ABA 3-point line out there still on this court. Used to be you hit it from outside that line and you got a 3-pointer. You get fouled, you get a 4-pointer. Slick Leonard.
Ricky Sobers had his mind made up that he's going to get that shot over Norm Nixon.
He wants it, doesn't he? He's trying to post him every time he comes in on him.
That's right. And Ricky Sobers is not a bad shooter either. He's got a pretty good percentage going.
Ricky Sobers will play you tough. From Nevada, Las Vegas, an 18-point-a-game scorer here for Indiana. He is their second leading scorer. John Williamson is the leader with just over 19 points a game. Sobers has 10, Indiana by 8.
And he shoots 80% from the foul line, as you saw there, where he made both free throws.
Charlie Scott looks down low. Kareem posts to the left side of the lane, now breaks off, and the double team stays with him as Dantley comes across and gets the ball, and now to Nixon. Lakers moving the ball very quickly, humming that basketball, waiting for the open. Tatum takes it down inside court. Sobers working hard against Charlie Scott, and they call Sobers on an elbow, and Sobers shakes his head.
Excellent call. Excellent call by Jake O'Donnell. Ricky Sobers with his right arm out, hooking, which wasn't necessary. He had good control of the ball. Watch his right arm. There it is right there. Already had good position, didn't need to use.
So with Brad Davis, another rookie in the game, one of 6 first-round draft choices from the ACC in the NBA this year. 6 from last season. Here's Kareem now getting 2 shots. Now they're starting to get him his shot, as you were mentioning, Ken.
Again, they feel that they can win if they give him that particular shot. They'd rather him take that than the sky hook. And that's not a real good percentage shot for him, but he has made 2.
Well, Kareem now has 11. Lakers back to it in 6, and here they come on the run. Brad Davis, a 6'2 guy with a good lead pass to Ford, and he holds the ball nicely. Good ball possession. Waits for the foul. It didn't come, but he did get it on the bank.
Good pass by Brad Davis that time. He had a 3-on-2.
The Lakers start to look sharper now as they get the ball after 1 shot by Indiana and then run. 13 seconds remain to be played as you see it superimposed here in the second period. 52-48, Indiana in the lead. Pacers led by as many as 12 points earlier in the second period. And now they have Mike Bantam at the free throw line.
Bantam shoots about 74% from the foul line.
Don Ford was called for the personal foul. 13 seconds left to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the horse competition. You'll hear a direct report from Jimmy the Greek Greek's Grapevine. A report on the Grand Prix tennis that you'll be watching between Borg and Connors following this NBA game. All coming up at halftime. Here is Brad Davis coming down court. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Nixon fires just before the horn. And an offensive foul is called against the Lakers before the shot.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do, Don, as a guard, you don't want to get up in the air and pass the ball. And unfortunately, Brad Davis got caught up in the air and got an offensive charge.
Very limited options when you're in the air with the ball. So it doesn't go, and the first half comes to an end. The Indiana Pacers, their lead of 12, now cut to 5 at the end of the first 2 periods of play, go to the locker room with a 53-48 lead over the Los Angeles Lakers. In the first half, Indiana was led by Len Elmore, who scored 12 points. Ricky Sobers had 10. Mike Bantam hit 8. John Williamson had 8. Brownfield came in the game and scored 5. It gave that team a big impetus with his rebounding and overall floor play. You'll be watching Horse very shortly here on CBS with the score at the half, 53-48, Indiana in the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud this afternoon to present another edition of the Pepsi-Cola NBA Hot Shot competition as our halftime entertainment. The youngsters you will see playing
Going very nice from the truck.
competed all summer in playground
Gentlemen.
competition. They represent some of the best young
Gentlemen.
basketball shooters in our area. Hot Shot is a national
Boys.
basketball skills program
Young men.
that involved more than 2.5 million youngsters this year. The
Hello.
youngsters compete in 6 age and 6 categories. Winners this afternoon will go on to future competition here and other NBA arenas around the country. The Hot Shot game is a 1-minute race against the clock. The youngsters score
Give me that again, please, Bill.
shooting from special hot spots that you see
Was he talking to us?
being put down right now.
Oh, okay.
Next thing you'll read is the station right.
Tell him I'm going off headset for a minute. Okay, Billy. Thanks, Bill.
2 layup scores are allowed for 2 points. Three-point bonus is used if the youngster attempts at least 1 shot from each hot spot. 1 point is subtracted for each dribbling or motion violation. The youngsters have played previous hot shot competitions against each other, so their score at this halftime is only a part of the total score. Winners will be announced during the third period. The referees tonight will be Indianapolis Department of Parks and Recreation. Okay, the first competition, girls 9 to 12. Shooting at the east end will be Sandy Spears, or check that, shooting at the west end.
Will be Sandy Spears of Indianapolis, and on the east end, Margaret Wallace from Denver.
Hot shot! Show us what you got!
Give me that again, please, Bill. Was he talking to us? Oh, okay.
Next thing you'll read is the station right.
Tell him I'm going off headset for a minute. Okay, Billy. Thanks, Bill.
2 layup scores are allowed for 2 points. Three-point bonus is used if the youngster attempts at least 1 shot from each hot spot. 1 point is subtracted for each dribbling or motion violation. The youngsters have played previous hot shot competitions against each other, so their score at this halftime is only a part of the total score. Winners will be announced during the third period. The referees tonight will be Indianapolis Department of Parks and Recreation. Okay, the first competition, girls 9 to 12. Shooting at the east end will be Sandy Spears, or check that, shooting at the west end.
Will be Sandy Spears of Indianapolis, and on the east end, Margaret Wallace from Denver.
Hot shot! Show us what you got!
Give me that again, please, Bill. Was he talking to us? Oh, okay.
Next thing you'll read is the station break.
Tell him I'm going off headset for a minute. Okay, Billy. Thank you, Bill.
Winners will be announced during the third period. The referees tonight will be Indianapolis Department of Parks and Recreation. Okay, the first competition, girls 9 to 12. Shooting at the east end will be Sandy Spears, or check that, shooting at the west end.
Will be Sandy Spears of Indianapolis. And on the east end, Margaret Wallace from Denver.
Hot shot. Show us what you got.
And at the east end, Tom Scott of Franklin, Indiana.
Hot shot. Show us what you got.
Very nice job. Very good, sir. Good job. No, you're doing a hell of a job.
I got tapped in the beginning there, Don, on that seat.
Yeah.
I'll go get a picture.
Shooting at the west end will be Janine Olds of Kansas City, and shooting at the east end, Nancy Soule from Denver.
Hot shot. Show us what you got.
Okay. Came into the room. It was there. Well, matter of fact, I brought my black and white kind of fire sport jacket over to the gym, and I asked them. They said probably better to wear that because it's kind of the shoulder is kind of down. You got Nate? Yes. Really good. For me, that's good. You got it. Come into a score, they start doing that.
Okay, to the next game, those ladies. Janine Olds of KC and Nancy Soule of Denver.
Yeah.
On the fourth competition, boys 13 to 15, shooting at the west end will be Joe Aquisto from Owensboro, Kentucky. And on the east end, Troy Bouts Mississippi.
Pretty early.
What, the MVP? Okay.
I'll be down here by that time. That's that place. We got 3 minutes till we come back, and then you use station break.
Got that gusto over there.
Don't come in with that humor. Come in with that stuff.
Use that.
Oh, absolutely. All of that stuff.
Okay, there they are. The fourth competition, boys 13 to 15. Joe McQuistel, Owensboro, Kentucky, and Troy Bounce from
Marv, have the brakes gone pretty clean? Have the switches gone pretty clean?
16 to 18. Shooting at the west end is Susie Harper from Chicago, and on the east end, Nancy Garcia of Denver.
We haven't welcomed Boston yet. Now, is there anything you think Kaz should be doing more or less of as you listen? It's all right. We're having a... Thing is going good from the truck up here. It really is now.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have them on. No. Okay, fine.
Really punch. Really punch.
Okay.
Almost like you're out shouting. Almost. Really, you can't overdo
Okay,
it.
let's hear
Okay.
Good shooting from Susie Harper of Chicago and Nancy Garcia of Denver. Now the sixth and final competition, boys 16 to 18, featured on
It's just
the
a matter
west
of knowing
end,
exactly when they come in because I'm not sure because I hear so much talking in my
And on the east end, Kevin Coughlin
in my
from
headset.
Kansas City.
30 seconds to the station break.
Okay, up. The score here at halftime in Indianapolis is the Indiana Pacers 53, the Los Angeles Lakers 48. Very shortly, we'll be getting an update from Jimmy the Greek on the Greek's Grapevine as the NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
And there's our sixth competition of the day in the Pepsi Hot Shots. John McQuistel of Owensboro, Kentucky, and Kevin Coughlin of KC. We want to thank all these boys and girls and thank our referees. The youngsters who win the Pepsi-Cola NBA Hot Shot competition here today go on to the Western Conference Championships. This was the regional final. Ultimately, 6 youngsters will go on to compete for the Western Conference Championship during the NBA Championship Series. During the remaining NBA season, you can follow the progress of this program on the CBS Game of the Week halftime show. We'll have the announcements of today's winners during the third quarter. Here are halftime statistics for Los Angeles. The leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 11. The leading rebounder, Abdul-Jabbar with 11. From the floor, Los Angeles hit 18 of 51 for 35%. 12 of 17 from the line for 70%. Well, the Pacers...
Well, Jimmy the Greek always has something interesting to say, and I'm sure he does right now. We're going to go and visit with him. That's coming up next. The Greek's Grapevine.
Williamson, 6. 15 of 19 from the line for 78%. Your score is 53 to 48 at the half. And here come the Indiana Pacers.
Right. Yep. I kind of hear you indirectly. I'm getting Bill Barnes. I'm getting Bill Barnes. Yep, real loud.
Halftime. What the Lakers shoot that first half? They didn't play that well. They're only 5 points down. They're getting any kind of point production from Kareem. They could really get into this game.
At the conclusion of today's game and each of our NBA telecasts during the season, we will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with this award, Chevrolet will present a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the player's college or university. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. Cassie Russell and myself will be voting for the MVP, and should we disagree, our producer Bill Barnes will cast the deciding ballot. There's a great tennis event coming up at Madison Square Garden following this NBA game, and let's go for an update on it to Pat Summerall and Tony Trabert.
Now you can get your group or club to a Pacer game and catch great NBA action on a discounted ticket. Get the group scoop by calling the Pacer office weekday.
I wasn't getting my own audio then.
Ice cream people can make this birthday the best ever for the young Pacer fan in your family. Check for details on page 9 of the Linder ad in today's program, or call the Pacer office for full information. Also, look for today's Pacer Puzzler on the overhead message board. We ask once again for your cooperation with your non-smoking neighbors in refraining from smoking until you are in the outer lobbies.
Neither team shot that well, 35%. Man, that's nice.
All right, Pat, thank you. Both clubs are back out onto the floor now. We're almost ready for the start of the third period with Indiana in the lead 53 to 48. This is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell back at Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Lakers and the Pacers are ready now to put it up in the air and start the third quarter. Nobody shot too well in the first half, particularly the Lakers, 35%, and I think that's an incorrect total for Indiana. They only shot 35.8%, so we have two 35% shooting teams here. You need a little better net in the NBA.
Oh, I tell you, neither team has shot the ball well that first half. But I'm sure it's got to pick up a little bit better. Of course, it could be the shot selections, Don.
Starting the second half for Indiana.
Assists, you see, pretty well even. Offensive rebounds. One of the big problems the Lakers have had, Adrian Dantley has hit only 3 of 10 shots. And Abdul-Jabbar has hit only 4 of 13 shots. And there is the scoring for Indiana. Sobers and Elmo at 10 points apiece. Bantams and Williamson with 8. DeHagen around field and Tatum rounding out the scoring. They've got a good balanced effort. Everybody's handled the ball. Everybody's been in the game for Indiana.
And that's what happens when you move the ball around on offense. Everybody gets the feel of it, and as a result, you will get balanced scoring 9 out of 10 times.
So the Pacers inbound the ball to start the third period. Sobers has the basketball. He is matched up against Nixon. Here is Tatum now as they get it outside to Bantam, and the big guy fires it up, and Kareem takes it down. And Norm Nixon sets it up for Los Angeles.
One interesting point now, you'll note that Earl Tatum is playing forward, where in the first half he played guard.
A little more speed in there. And now somebody stepped on the baseline of the court, so Tatum will bring the ball inbounds for Indiana. Tatum, Sobers, Williamson, James Edwards, who didn't get a lot of playing time in the first half, and Mike Bantam in the game for Indiana. Nixon, Wilkes, Dantley, Abdul-Jabbar, and Hudson, the starting 5 in the game for Los Angeles, as Bantam comes down low, and he never left the ground. But it worked.
How do you like that? I think he half turned into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on that particular play, and was surprised with Abdul's presence, and just kind of flipped it up toward the basket.
Nixon gets the ball now to Kareem. Takes a look inside as there's motion to either side of the lane. Switching sides are Wilkes and Nixon. Kareem follows it up, and he will draw a foul. Dantley inside draws the foul. Adrian Dantley going to the free throw line. As the personal is on Bantam, that's his third. First team foul, the third period.
Good position under the board again by Adrian Dantley, resulting in a foul, and they're going to have to box him off the board. Everybody's looking at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Adrian Dantley has free access to the basket.
Adrian Dantley at the free throw line. Drops it in. Dantley in the first half had 5 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds. Indiana's gotten a lot from the bench, as you see. That's been the difference in the basketball game as the Pacers lead 55-49. They led by 5 at the half, 53-48. Dantley having trouble with the free throws. First half, the Lakers hit 12 of 17 free throws. Indiana had 15 of 19. Over and back is the signal, and the ball is over to the Lakers now as they trail by 6.
A little defensive pressure put on by Lou Hudson, causing that turnover. John Williamson couldn't quite get the handle on the ball.
Nixon takes a look inside. Kareem is out high now. Wilkes coming out high. They've got the baseline all cleared out. Somebody's going to get set to go back door, and Dantley's looking to work his way in there. Now they go to Kareem, and there is Dantley back door, but the basket is rejected. But Dantley puts it up again. He keeps at it. And finally, it goes through the legs of Sweet Lou Hudson to Bantam up court to Tatum. One man back to defend is Nixon, and Tatum can't make it work. Lakers get the basketball back.
The Lakers got a break on that particular play. Earl Tatum probably should have passed the ball to one of the Indiana Pacers filling the left lane there. And as a result, they didn't get a basket, which they should have.
Wilkes takes a look inside. Kareem calling for the ball. They go perimeter. Now they get it down low, and the big guy backs in on Edwards, and a foul is called. It'll be against Indiana.
James Edwards.
Edwards pushing off.
James Edwards always has a little trouble with Kareem. Of course, this is the first meeting between the two.
Edwards is the only rookie center in the NBA that's starting. He didn't play a whole lot in the first half. Here is the ball carrying off Hudson, coming up to Williamson. John Williamson, a bull of a basketball player, very strong, powerful player. hits the bucket to give Indiana the 8-point lead, 57-49. Williamson has 10. Kareem is triple teamed now and loses the ball to Edwards. Up court, Tatum ahead of the pack, and Earl Tatum cruises for two.
Kareem is holding that ball much too long in there. He's going to have to get that ball out because they're sending 3 men at Kareem every time he gets the ball. So somebody's got to be open with 3 men.
Uri West now sending some new people to the game. Charlie Scott out of his warm-ups, as is Abernethy. He needs more from his offense right now. Kareem gets it to roll down. And the Lakers trail by 8. Kareem has 13 points. 9:15 to play in the third period here at Indianapolis. John Williamson falling away. Jamal Wilkes comes down the defensive board. Hudson fires. And Lou Hudson. He's hit 1,000 of those in his career.
The Lakers can use quite a few more shots like that from Lou Hudson to get themselves back into this ball game. And this is a big game for them on this road trip.
Edwards trying to work his way against Kareem, who blocks the shot, but Edwards gets it back, and here's the foul call. Jake O'Donnell, let's see. We'll watch that one again, Cassie.
Okay, James Edwards gets the ball down low, starts to move on Kareem, but I think he goes up and he's shooting the ball right there in front of Kareem one more time, and he draws the foul.
And we have timeout here in the third period with Indiana in the lead, 59-53. Okay, apparently my audio is going out in the air all right, huh? I'm not getting any of my own audio or any of... Okay, I'm not getting any of my own audio or any of Cassie, so talk to me again, Mara, so I know audio you're coming in. Okay, I'm going to take one ear off then so I can hear it. Very good, as long as it's coming over. Oh, yeah, fine.
Clearly, no.
Is it kind of staticky? Or?
Right.
Yeah, it was something.
I'm not hearing you very clearly at all. I can't hear you that clearly because even when you told me to go ahead and comment on that instant replay, I still couldn't hear you, so I just picked it up.
You did good. Keep that punch up, Kaz.
Matter of fact, I hear you pretty well when I take one ear off.
Tom Abernethy and Charlie Scott will line up for LA.
With Cassie Russell, this is Don Criqui back at Indiana. Live action as the Pacers in white have the ball on a 6-point lead in the third period. John Williamson trying to put it up on Lou Hudson. There will be a foul call on Hudson on the play. Tough call. Lou body checking, I guess.
Yeah, you watch Lou Hudson and John Williamson. They've kind of been going at it pretty good the last 2 or 3 minutes. And, of course, Williams goes up and draws the foul. Talk about a non-contact sport.
Gets mean in there, doesn't it? Take away your gusto in there.
And John Williams has a lot of that, it appears.
It's a rough day in Indiana right today. The temperature is dropping. We came in here, it was 34 degrees. We're told by evening it's going to be 0, and the hawk is out there. Yes, the hawk is blowing here. So now it is a 61-53 game. Indiana with the lead is Abernethy. Gets the ball over to Scott. Kareem, double team, triple team sometimes. Out to Lou Hudson. They just move the ball away from the defense. And finally, Lou Hudson arcs one right in so nicely over it.
They got to have more of that. That one time there, they threw the ball all the way around to the other side, and they threw it into Kareem. He threw it right back out. That's what they got to have.
Sobers pulls up. And Kareem just glides in, takes the defensive board, kicks it out to Scott. Here come the Lakers running now. Hudson loses the ball. Lakers going to come back to within 4 had they been able to get the points up there, but they turn it over. They've been doing that a lot in this game. They have turned the ball over 16 times to just 7 for Indiana. Now Los Angeles comes back on the run as Scott has the ball. Feeds off and throws it away again. So the Lakers come down the floor twice without getting a shot. Sobers takes it in. The Pacers are starting to play a little bit of one-on-one basketball. They're not dishing it off too much, and the Lakers are beneficiaries now as they're getting it right back. There is Lou Hudson.
I thought Ricky Sobers could have made a pretty good pass that last time, which probably would have resulted in an easier shot for Indiana.
I think John Williamson thought that, too. He was standing there waiting.
I'm surprised he didn't tell him.
Although Williamson doesn't overwhelm you with assists.
No, he's not. Right now, the Indiana Pacers are taking some very low percentage shots, and you're not going to win consistently if you're shooting that far from the outside, Don.
The Lakers down by 10 in the third period have now come back to within 4. Indiana will put the ball in play. Williamson has to fight Lou Hudson for the ball, but he gets it. And a pushing foul is signaled against Charlie Scott, to his dismay, stopping the clock with 7:07 to play in the third period. Indiana 61, Los Angeles 57. Williamson puts the ball in, goes to Earl Tatum. L.A. doubling up on the ball now. That leaves Williamson free. John Williamson goes up in the air and sets it down.
The Lakers are trying to double on the ball, but they're not getting any weak side help. And when you double team like that, there are a lot of open men if the other guys don't come up and fill the gap.
Kareem moves off nicely. Got out of it.
One of the few times they've allowed him to get inside, and that's what will happen when you allow Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to get in close.
Kareem is the NBA's all-time field goal percentage leader, almost 55% in his career, and his scoring average of over 29 a game, 29.4, is second only to Wilt Chamberlain, who averaged 30.1.
This one particular play, Earl Tatum takes a pretty tough shot from the corner, and then he comes down and makes a silly foul in the backcourt.
Well, we have a break of the action now. The score, Indiana 63, Los Angeles 59. A timeout at Indianapolis. I hear them, though. I hear them fine. It's just my own and his. Yeah, put one on. Take a listen.
1 2 1 2 1 2. I hear myself. 1 2.
Can't even hear it.
Yeah? No, we're going to stay with these. There's liable to be something. Maybe, let me listen to the other one.
I can't even hear it.
Yeah, me either. I can't. Yeah.
How much time?
No, I better stay with this one.
They said this is a better one. That's what they say. How much time?
Shall I try another?
30.
Let me try another headset. Okay, testing 1 2 3. Still the same. Go back to the other one.
Stand by. And. All right, you can look. Here we come.
Backcourt foul violation. Shots will be taken.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular Super Bowl preview. As you know, next Sunday here on CBS, Super Bowl 12 is coming up. The Orange Crush and the Dallas Cowboys. Who wins that one, Cassie?
I don't know. I'm going to go with the Orange Crush.
I'm going to go with Dallas. Got a big pass rush. They play it for, though, don't they?
That's right. They really do. Denver's been playing well. I think Craig Morton should be up to par.
We have 6:26 to go in the third period, and the Lakers have now come back to within 3, 63-60. John Williamson outside, and here is a foul call.
Inside with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trying to front James Edwards. That's 5 on Kareem. He's going to have to get him out.
5 on Kareem, so the big fella comes out and sits down. As you know, in the NBA, 6, and it's the afternoon.
Well, been a rough afternoon for him. Of course, he doesn't like that call at all.
John Williamson, who's been playing a one-on-one game, staying with him is Charlie Scott. Now they get it down low to James Edwards. It's Robish is against him. Lou Hudson goes for the steal. Williamson, he will keep it in the air.
John has no second thoughts about shooting the ball if he gets a good shot. That was a pretty good shot for John. He was an excellent shooter.
He opened it up with a good dribble, switching hands. Now 16 points, and Indiana leads 65-60. Now Abernathy comes down. There's a guy that almost never shoots.
Well, Abernathy's a good, consistent player, Don. He's not going to hurt you. When Tom gets in, he gives you good play at both ends. And I think if they get a little help from him, the Lakers may be able to pull this game out.
Robish takes the ball away. They try to get it inside to Edwards, and Dave Robish gets it back. Here's Lou Hudson spinning off. Lakers down by 3, and Indiana comes back the other way. We welcome the fans that have just joined us here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers in white, the Los Angeles Lakers in their forum blue, and the score is Indiana 67, Los Angeles 62, with 4:59 to play in the third period. The game has gone back and forth here. Indiana's building up big leads, led by 12 in the second period, cut to 5 at the half, led by 10 in the third period, cut to 3 a moment ago, and that's where it is now, 67-64. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a foul problem for Los Angeles. He's picked up his 5th midway through the third period, so he's on the bench. As Roundfield comes inside, he wasn't supposed to play because of a bad hand. He now has 7.
Roundfield, for a guy that wasn't supposed to play, is doing an excellent job. The play before that, Tom Abernathy came up with an excellent offensive tip-in, and right now the score, of course, 69-64, Indiana.
They clear aside for Adrian Dantley. We're going to have a goaltend called against 7-foot James Edwards. So the basket goes for the Lakers. They trail by 3.
Adrian Dantley down low with the ball, of course, a favorite position for him. And there you have the goaltend by an elbow.
James Edwards at the free throw line now for Indiana with 4:13 to play in the third period. The personal foul on the play was against Robish. He has 2. And now the Indiana Pacers are going to call a timeout. So with 4:13 to play in the third period, and Indiana leading 72-66. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll be back at Indianapolis in a moment. Guys, whenever they say layout, just automatically stop talking. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Sounds awkward sometimes. You have to do it. Yeah.
Halftime that night, the YMCA Indian guys.
Phoenix Open when they come back, guys.
It'll be a Monday night game.
Right. Well,
The New Jersey Nets.
They can give me about 3 or 4 seconds on that last.
7:05 tip-off. It'll be Dr. Martin Luther King night and the return of Darnell Miller.
yep. Thank you. Can't hear you.
Till we're back.
No.
No?
Okay. Doesn't work. Yes, we do. They don't work.
Don't change mics.
We remind you to be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of today's game. Right now, James Edwards is on the free throw line for Indiana, and here comes Dantley for Los Angeles. Out to Charlie Scott. Charlie Scott has bad memories of this Indianapolis arena. He broke his arm in 2 places here a year ago. He's out for 2 months then. Dantley starts to spin off, goes to the basket, the whistle blows, and there's going to be a call. Someone on the Lakers apparently was pushing it. No, it's going to go against Indiana now.
Defensive zone warning.
Against Indiana.
Defensive zone warning.
So now we've had call for both teams playing a disguise type of zone.
Lakers looking for all the help they can get on defense now as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is on the bench with 5 personal fouls, 3:50 to play in the third period. Charlie Scott takes it inside, and Charlie Scott can't get it to go. Banham takes it up. Sweet Lou Hudson tips it away, but Roundfield comes up with the ball.
You call a good bounce.
Here goes Williamson.
John Williamson is trying to do it all by himself right now. And for a guy that wasn't supposed to play, Roundfield is having an excellent ball game.
Dan Roundfield from Central Michigan comes in averaging 13 points a game. He's 6'8", 205 pounds. Robish with that wrong arm, the
That's a guy
left-hander.
that's underrated.
Yeah.
And Robish is a good ball player. Has a pretty good touch for a guy 6'10".
Robish is the Pacers' leading free throw shooter. He was last season. Then the trade to Los Angeles. He's hitting well for Los Angeles also. He was an 83% free throw shooter with Indiana last season, Robish. He works hard, Dave Robish. He's helped the Lakers.
He really has. He comes in and he gives Kareem a good rest. And he won't hurt you while he's in the ball game.
A 4-point game. Indiana leads by 4, 72 to 68. James Edwards, a good shooting big man, can't get it to work, but sliding inside is Dan Roundfield.
I spoke with Dan before the game. He said he wasn't sure whether he was going to play or not, but he doesn't appear to be playing too bad.
He's got 11. And Indiana leads by 6. In the game for Los Angeles, Charlie Scott. Now Dantley and Hudson go out, so Jamal Wilkes goes out. Now Jamal Wilkes is going to inbounds the ball. We have Wilkes, Abernathy, Scott, Nixon, and Robish. For Indiana, we have Williamson, Edwards, Banham, Behagen in for Roundfield, and Sobers in the game.
Don, if the Lakers can get just a little bit of spurt going, I feel they can still pull this game out. And of course, they need some help from Jamal Wilkes. And I think they get a little shooter from him, they could possibly pull it out.
Sobers comes in for the backcourt to hit the defensive board and then leads the break back the other way. A lot of individual Pacers are looking for points. Now they start to move the ball around. Sobers takes it in, puts it up over Charlie Scott. Big play by Ricky Sobers, a very aggressive, strong backcourt player. He has 12.
They're not bashful. Sobers and Williamson will get you some shots from the guard spot, that's for sure.
Charlie Scott missed it all. Here comes Sobers on the break for Indiana. 2 men back for the Lakers. Lead to Behagen, and he is on the payoff end.
And the momentum now, of course, has shifted right into Indiana's favor. They're running the ball well. There's an excellent pass by Ricky Sobers at times, resulting in a layup.
Robish works off. Edwards stays with him. Whoops. Went the wrong way on him. Back over to Indiana. Now the Pacers have opened up the 10-point lead again, Cassie, so the Lakers need to get that ball back and get some points up.
That's right. They're not taking good shots right now. And I think what they really need is a couple of fast break baskets to really get them started.
Lakers have been close a lot of times. They've tied it twice in the first half, but they've never led in the game. Here comes Nixon. Lead to Robish. That's
Good
nice.
pass by Norm Nixon. Excellent.
Wasn't it? There's a whistle on the play and a foul call.
Mike Banham is called for
Look
his
at that
fourth
again.
foul.
Okay. All right, here's Norm Nixon. Excellent bounce pass to Dave Robish. He goes in and he gets fouled after the layup. As I mentioned before, they need a few more fast break baskets like that to get themselves going.
We have 4 fouls now on Behagen. With 1:29 to play in the third period.
Don, I like that. I like Norm Nixon. Norm is an exciting player. He makes things happen. There he came down and made a good pass, as I said before. And if the Lakers can get a few more baskets like that, a few more fast breaks, they can find themselves right back in this ball game.
Norm Nixon is from Macon, Georgia. Played high school basketball there. Recruited by Duquesne. First-round pick. He was the 3rd player selected.
He felt that he should have been number 1.
Pretty good.
He's
didn't hear a whole lot about him in college, but the scouts sure did.
That's right. You know, he was a scorer in college, and of course he's changed his game somewhat to fit the style of the Laker scheme of things, and it's good because he's given them good shooting from the outside and good playmaking.
Only one man ever scored more points at Duquesne than Norm Nixon, the great Cy Hugo Green. But he played basketball.
Boy, let me tell you, good shooter.
John Williamson fades away, almost takes out an official. John's about as physically fit as anybody they're going to put out there. He's a karate expert. He works at it.
Okay, here's a chance. Norm Nixon almost made a steal. Ricky Sobers with the pass to John Williamson. John puts a little spin, and Dave Roberts gets him with the body. His momentum carried him out, and he'll have a chance to make a couple of free throws.
Got him with his belt buckle, and so Williamson goes to the free throw line with 1:07 to play in the third period.
John's a pretty good free throw shooter, 82% from the foul line. Making 2 free throws there, and again, the Indiana Pacers lead by 9.
John Williamson from New Mexico State. Spent some time with the now New Jersey Nets. Came to Indiana last year. So again, the Lakers will put the ball in play as Scott takes a look in. Jamal Wilkes comes out high. Robish, the center's out high. Norm Nixon breaks out from underneath, and Sobers is against him. Sobers will play a very bumping, tough defense. Again, they do a good job doubling up on the ball. That left Scott free, but he can't get it to work. Charlie Scott then commits a foul.
Yeah, that's too bad on that. Norm Nixon again makes a good pass to Charlie Scott, who in turn makes a... Okay, here we are. Norm Nixon makes a good pass to Charlie Scott, who makes a good individual move to the basket and just misses the layup and then compounds the problem by fouling Len Elmore, and he'll get 2 shots. Good move by Charlie. It's too bad he missed that layup because I think that would have at least brought the Lakers within 7.
Lenny Elmore at the free throw line, 6'9", with 47 seconds to play in the third period. 80-71, Indiana with a 9-point lead. Charlie Scott has had problems with turnovers this year. He led the Celtics with over 100 at the time he was traded. You know, you're talking about Norm Nixon, Cassie. Since Christmas, in the 5 games the Lakers have played since Christmas, he's been shooting over 62%.
He has shot the ball well, especially on this road trip, too, Don.
Abernathy starts to move inside and draws a foul from Ron V. Hagan. So with the Lakers and the Pacers both in the penalty situation, Abernathy's at the free throw line. That's the third on V. Hagan.
I think Abernathy is probably one of your more consistent players on the Lakers. And, of course, with the acquisition of Dantley, he has not gotten that much time the last week or so. But he's a player that will not hurt you, Don, and I think he may get a little more playing time in this particular game.
He was drafted in the 3rd round out of Indiana University a couple of years ago. Tom Abernathy, good team player. Earl Tatum back in. He can move the ball up and down quickly. Head faking, jitterbugging inside. Now they go to V. Hagan. Too much on it. Elmore crashes the boards, but Jamal Wilkes takes it. Now here's Nixon picking up the free ball. Accelerating. To Lou Hudson, fading away. Abernathy tips it away, a loose ball, and Williamson comes up with a basketball for Indiana. Takes a look at the clock and now realizes he's got to go. 5 seconds, 4 seconds to go in the third period. Williamson makes it work at the buzzer. Right on time.
One thing, once he gets the ball, you will not have to tell him to shoot because he's always cognizant of how much time there is on the clock.
Well, John Williamson has now scored 22 points for the Indiana Pacers, and so they annex their lead that was 5 points at the half up to 10 points as we head now into the 4th period of play. John Williamson with 22 with that shot at the buzzer. It's going okay, don't worry. It's going fine. Keep that enthusiasm. Just keep thinking, talk.
Williamson's playing pretty good.
We're much better without you blocking the floor when we're on. It just isn't working. It just isn't working. But it's much better if you're off because you block the floor and you stand there and look up at us. It's okay. It's working. We got it together. We got it together. Yeah. Great shot.
Okay. Anthony Harris.
Dancing Harry's over there. Got a shot of him. Get Dancing Harry. You see Dancing Harry over there? Yeah. Right. There's
Harry taking time for an autograph.
Get Dancing Harry for us. All right. We welcome the fans who have just joined us here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers are in white, the Los Angeles Lakers in blue. The Pacers are leading the game now by a 10-point margin, 83-73, as we open the fourth period of play. Indiana had a 5-point lead at the half. Los Angeles came back close to within 3, and then the Indiana pulled away.
I'll tell you, Indiana's playing real well down there, moving the ball, and they're getting good percentage shots, and the Lakers are going to have to get better shots than they were getting before.
Norm Nixon, a sharpshooting backcourt player from Duquesne, can't get it to go down, and here comes Tatum feeding up court to Williamson, the game's leading scorer with 22. And all alone on the offensive board was Sobers, and we're going to get Behagen called for touching the ball above the ring. Offensive interference.
Good call. The ball was in the imaginary cylinder, and when it's there, you can't touch the ball. Excellent heads-up call by the official.
Jamal Wilkes, former UCLA All-American, Cruz is in, and Robish, who's in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's on the bench with 5 personal fouls, follows the shot up and tips it in. The Lakers now trail by 8, 11:20 to play in the game. Los Angeles in the middle of a 7-game road trip. After winning at New York, they lost at Buffalo, then at Philadelphia. They were beaten badly Friday night by the 76ers, so they feel they have to get this game to get back in it. They're now in 4th place in the Pacific Division behind not only Portland and Phoenix, but also Seattle now.
Seattle's playing well, and you got to make a move about this time because, you keep saying it's about time you're going to make a move, but you got to start somewhere, and this would have been a good time for them to start on this road trip as Earl Tatum steps out of bounds.
Indiana's last time out, they were blown out by Washington, losing. Washington ran up 146 points in the game.
Sound like a double overtime.
Leonard said would just write it off, just a bad game. Lakers getting good motion. Robish, a hard-working center, is moving in and out, trying to clear it out for the smaller shooters. Here is Lou Hudson getting the ball, a fight for it. It's tipped over to Williamson, and John Williamson takes it right down. And back the other way, Norm Nixon, the fastest player on the floor, brings it back for Los Angeles. I don't know what happened there, but Norm lost the handle but drew a foul.
I don't know if he drew a foul or not. I think the ball is going to go out of bounds for the Lakers.
Yeah,
Norm
ruled
tried
it
to
was
go
tipped.
between 3 Pacers that time, and the ball was deflected out of bounds.
Mike Banham and Danny Round.
Now substitutes come in the game for Indiana. Mike Banham comes in the game, and Dan Ronfield goes in as Earl Tatum, a former Laker, and Ron Behagen go out. Nixon looking behind the screen from Robish, now dumps it off. The fundamental basketball, the pick and roll, but the Lakers can't get it to work. And here comes Indiana again.
Excellent pass by Norm Nixon again. And Robish was good shot. Just with a little bad luck, missed it.
Ricky Sobers is going one-on-one on a clear side against Lou Hudson. Now Williamson comes in to fill down low, and he shoots over Nixon. John Williamson with about 3 inches in height. They've been posting Nixon. He's quick, but he's not that big. He's the smallest player, albeit the fastest one on the floor. Lou Hudson firing up and missed it all. Hudson was hitting in the third period to bring the Lakers back, and now Indiana comes on the fly, and we have a blocking foul on Nixon.
I'll tell you, that call could have gone either way.
Now for a report on the Boston-Philadelphia game, let's go to Brent Musburger and Keith Erickson. The score here at Indiana is the Pacers 83, the Los Angeles Lakers 75, and John Williamson's at the free throw line. We'll be getting to that Boston-Philadelphia game shortly. 83-75 Indiana in the fourth period, 9:58 to play in the game. The leading scorer in the game is Williamson. John Williamson has scored 22 points for Indiana. Bannon has 10. Sobers has 12. Roundfield came off the bench to score 11. Elmore has 11. The leading scorer for Los Angeles is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 15, although his playing time has been very limited in the second half because of the foul trouble. Danley has 13. Yep. Almost got the hat trick.
Oh.
Missed them both.
Williamson, ordinarily a good shooter at 82%, missed both free throws there, which would have given Indiana again a 10-point lead as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes back into the ball game.
See, that's the most embarrassing moment in the game when you get 3 chances to make 2 and you take the collar, get the hat trick. This is
Choke O'Rooney.
3 bricks. Nixon tries to get it inside the Hudson, ball tipped away, and picking it up is Banham. The Pacers broke out of a team game. They were throwing the ball away and playing one-on-one, allowing the Lakers to get back in. And then the Lakers started turning the ball over, and Indiana got back in. Lakers have never led in this game. They've come back. They've tied it twice in the first half. Have trailed by as many as 12. Now they're down by 8. As Indiana is using the shot clock to wind down the game clock. There's only 9:12 to go in the game. Indiana holding to an 8-point lead.
The Lakers have got to make a move starting right now. They've got to, because the time is running out, and they got to get some more offensive punch. Again.
Now for a report on the Boston-Philadelphia game. We'll be switching to Brent Musburger.
Lenny Elmore called for his 3rd foul.
We welcome you back to Indianapolis, where our score remains 83-75 Indiana. As Banham puts one up, and coming from off the play is Tom Abernathy, and he must have been hacked as he got the basketball.
Again, Tom Abernathy had good defensive position at one particular time. And like I said before, Tom Abernathy is a good, consistent player and will not hurt you.
Glenn Elmore got his 4th personal foul on the play for Indiana. 8:38 to go in the game. Scott working in the backcourt with Lou Hudson. Nixon on the bench now. Kareem back in. He's posted low, gets the ball. Elmore against him. Feeds off nicely. Good ball control inside by Adrian Dantley. And the Lakers have now come back to it in 5. 83-77. Back to it in 6. Got the bad arithmetic.
Good pass by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And Adrian Dantley with the good hands held on to it for a layup.
Playing volleyball inside now, and people are crashing into each other, and the official says, L.A. So Los Angeles can now cut Indiana's lead to 4. Kareem having trouble holding on. He's had trouble holding the ball inside.
But they're not making good passes with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar inside, though.
Jerry West is a great proponent of the bounce pass. Anything in close, he feels you should bounce past the ball because it's much more difficult to intercept. As a player, that was the way he got the ball in. John Williamson can't get it to work. Lou Hudson hits the deck, and Kareem sweeps off the defensive board.
If I might make a point here, Don, Indiana is not playing smart basketball at this time. They have a lead. They're taking bad percentage shots, and when you do that, you're going to ultimately lose your lead because you're not taking good shots.
Charlie Scott cruises in the air, cuts the lead to 4, and Leonard is on his feet. He wants a timeout. He wants the Pacers to call a timeout, and they do with 7:11 left to play in the game. Charlie Scott now with 9 points, and the Indiana Pacers lead 10 not long ago is now cut to 4. Do about it, but just live with it. I can tell when I know that, Bill, when you're saying get ready to go to Philadelphia, that isn't Bud doing it now? Right on, Billy. Keep coming in, Kaz. Give me that assessment.
John, Phoenix Open. Right there on the sheet. Second page.
Okay. There's some excellent golf coming up next Sunday here on CBS, next Saturday and Sunday. The Phoenix Open, that's your game, Cassie, when you're not throwing the round ball up.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind being involved in a little bit of those professional tours. They got a great feel out there, and I enjoy playing the game of golf myself.
Some of those entered, people like Tom Watson, Johnny Miller, Lenny Watkins, Lee Trevino. That's next weekend, the Phoenix Open here on CBS, Saturday and Sunday coverage. The Pacers have a 4-point lead. Sobers is driving on Scott, gets the shot up over the outstretched arm of the big guy.
Tough shot. Kareem Jabbar came over to help. At the other end, Adrian Dantley with the layup, leaving behind the pack.
So it's 85-81 as the Lakers come right back the other way, with Dantley now with 17 points. Looks like this one's going to go right down to the final horn, Cassie.
It looks like it. Adrian Dantley very quietly with 17 points.
Nice move by Lenny Elmore off the baseline. He again gives us a 6-point lead. Now for a report on the Chicago-Denver game, let's go to Frank Kleber and Steve Jones, who are standing by in Denver.
Thank you. Lou Hudson for the rebound basket. Did it go out?
Los Angeles Lakers still trailing, but it's just by 4. It's 89-85 after Jamal Wilkes just threw in a soft outside jump shot. The clock shows 5:28 left to play in the game. As we welcome you back to Indianapolis, this is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell. 5:28 to go in the game. A third team foul is called on the Los Angeles Lakers here in the fourth period. Adrian Dantley was called for it. 2 team fouls in Indiana. That's going to be a factor. Those penalty shots as they come down the stretch. Here's a steal by Dantley. Moving 1-on-1 against Mike Badham. Dantley fights his way inside. He was blocked. Badham doesn't think so, though. He might get a tee here.
Good defensive play by Adrian Dantley. The Indiana Pacers are beginning to play a little bit. Okay. Excellent defense by Adrian Dantley. Overplaying the ball. Takes off on the break. And you'll see that Mike Badham gets him a little bit down low. And the official made the good call.
So now both clubs have 3 team fouls in the fourth period.
That definitely could be a factor down the stretch, and it looks like we have a technical foul on somebody.
Yep, I thought we might get one on Mike Badham. They got the right guy going up to the line. Sweet Lou, he can knock him down.
Lou loves to shoot for a technical.
17 points.
Speaking of shooting free throws, here's another guy, Adrian Dantley, that we mentioned earlier in the telecast. He's shot 336 up to date. He'll be at the line for 2.
Dantley is shooting for his 18th point. Sir, says Adrian. He had to kind of work his way in. I think the technical foul was on Mike Badham. We haven't got an official word from the sideline, but he did protest. Yeah, he got the technical. Mike Badham.
Hello.
He also has 5 personal.
Hello, $75.
Get it up. Into the eddy. And now the Lakers have rallied back to within 1. 89-88 with 5:10 left to go. We've got a basketball game going here in Indiana. Len Elmore gets it to Sobers, cross court. Here's John Williamson. He hasn't had the ball in a while, so you know what he's going to do with it. Inbounds to the Lakers. Oh, they're going to rule it inbounds to Indiana. Apparently, Dantley was the last defender.
I noticed earlier, the last couple of minutes, the Pacers are going into Len Elmore because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 5 fouls. Now they're beginning to go away from him a little bit. They're going more to Williamson and Sobers down low.
Indiana's lost its big leads when they've gotten away from the team game and gone 1-on-1, and that's been the case as the Lakers are getting the ball back now. They've rallied back to within 1. 89-88 They were down by 10 to start the fourth quarter. And Charlie Scott just got the game whistle. That was his 6th. Jerry West makes sure he comes out quickly. They don't need a tee. We'll go with it. The 7th will hurt.
Not at this juncture. A technical now would probably hurt them because they're right back in the ball game now. They're starting to play a little better now.
Kareem intercepts. And now holds it up as he gives it to his little quarterback, Norm Nixon. He calls the play. Lakers spread out, deploy wide out on the floor. Jamal Wilkes loops it down low to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and there's the sky hook, and Los Angeles does not get the lead as the rebound is hopped to Edwards.
Tough shot. Of course, he's made that shot, but he hasn't gotten a touchback on that sky hook from that side of the floor just yet since he's come back.
Here's Edwards putting away Kareem with a good fake.
Excellent move by James Edwards inside.
Adam and Jamal Wilkes had an all-out shoving match. And now the Pacers have the 3-point lead. 91-88. The game clock shows 4:10 left to play. We're in the fourth period here.
Come back.
Here's Edwards putting away Kareem with a good fake.
Excellent move by James Edwards inside.
Adam and Jamal Wilkes had an all-out shoving match. And now the Pacers have the 3-point lead. 91-88. The game clock shows 4:10 left to play. We're in the fourth period here at Indianapolis. Kareem wheels inside and draws the foul, and now Wilkes is coming over to protest.
James Edwards going for his fourth.
He's being pushed, he feels. Let's watch that last play as Kareem drew the foul.
Okay, into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, watch everybody go back down on Kareem when he puts the ball down low, and of course, Edward gets him from the side, and that's what they're doing.
Only 3 guys on him, huh?
Collapsing defense down.
Big man does draw a crowd. We're going to have a timeout with Indiana leading by 3. You're going to get that in yet, aren't you, Bob?
He's come back.
Here's Edwards putting away Kareem with a good fake.
Excellent move by James Edwards inside.
Adam and Jamal Wilkes had an all-out shoving match. And now the Pacers have the 3-point lead. 91-88. The game clock shows 4:10 left to play. We're in the fourth period here at Indianapolis. Kareem wheels inside and draws the foul, and now Wilkes is coming over to protest.
James Edwards going for his fourth.
He's being pushed, he feels. Let's watch that last play as Kareem drew the foul.
Okay, into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, watch everybody go back down on Kareem when he puts the ball down low, and of course, Edward gets him from the side, and that's what they're doing.
Only 3 guys on him, huh?
Collapsing defense down.
Big man does draw a crowd. We're going to have a timeout with Indiana leading by 3. to get that in yet, aren't you, Bob? Boy, I tell you, a couple of those girls can really dance.
River.
With Cassie Russell, this is Don Crickey back at Indianapolis. We have 4:06 to play in the game. Indiana's leading the Los Angeles Lakers 91-88. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is at the free throw line. He's still with 15 points. Now with 16, and he brings the Lakers back to within 2.
He's been playing well the last quarter. If they can get 2 or 3 quarters from him in a row, I'm sure he's having a little difficulty. Again, he puts in 2 free throws, and it brings the Lakers within 1 now.
Lakers back to within 1. We're pretty close to down that stretch. Amazing things happened in the last 2 minutes. How about the game at Portland last night? Detroit's leading 105-97. Portland wins the game 109-105. Sobers got to get the shot away as the shot clock was almost out. Way up was Roundfield. What do we have here? It looks like a foul on the Lakers.
Good effort by Roundfield, who was between 2 Lakers. Okay, here we are. Sobers has to rush the shot because time is running out on him. Roundfield goes between 2 Lakers, and he gets bussed. Luckily for the Lakers, they call it on Jamal Wilkes and not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was also standing right there.
There's the final end. The Philadelphia 76ers on their home floor were hard pressed by the Celtics, but Philadelphia wins again, 94-91. Roundfield at the free throw line. A lot of people speculating, Cassie, that it's going to be Portland and Philly in the final again this year.
It looks that way. They're both playing excellent basketball at this time, and they have the records show that. As Roundfield makes 1 of 2.
And you see the cushion. It isn't much. 92-90, and the Lakers have the ball with a chance to tie it. Wilkes takes a look. They've doubled up on Kareem. Now Kareem moves off quickly, gets the shot, loses the handle on the jump shot, and the rebound is off to Roundfield, who gets it to Williamson to Sobers. Looking at the baseline, Dantley had position, no foul. Dan Roundfield jumped the big guy. He went over to Kareem to get that one.
He must know that Kareem has 5 fouls. Indiana got a break there. Sobers took a very bad shot, and luckily the ball came back to him.
Now Lou Hudson.
Sweet Lou.
He was right in the face of Bantam, who came out.
Lovely Lou with a jumper. It's pressure cooker time, I think.
Heat is on. 94-92, 2:44 to play.
There they go.
We welcome all of you who have just joined us here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers are in white, the Los Angeles Lakers in blue, and the score is Indiana 96, Los Angeles 92. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the game. As Adrian Dantley drives the side of the lane and draws the foul. The Lakers were down by 5 at the half, down by 10 at the end of 3 periods, and now they've rallied back to within 4.
Okay, Adrian Dantley going to a strong point, makes a good drive on Mike Bantam, and goes in, and of course gets fouled before he shoots the ball.
Dantley is shooting for his 20th point. He's averaging just over 24 since he joined Los Angeles from Indiana.
Well, he gets a lot of practice from the foul line.
More than anybody in the league.
That's right, but he doesn't shoot that well, doesn't shoot that badly from the outside. He's shooting about 51%, and of course that's mainly because he gets a lot of shots in low, Don.
So Dantley can make it a 2-point game, and he does. It's 96-94 as we start down the stretch. 2:15 to play in the game. Williamson of Indiana, who leads all scorers with 22 points, goes over to Edwards.
getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
1:56 to go. Here's a football pass to Adrian Dantley, who works and fights and can't get it to work. Kareem was following, but they couldn't get it to go. A big bucket. It would have tied the game. It's 96-94 Indiana with 1:43 left to play.
It looked like somebody might have touched that ball from up here, but I guess they didn't.
Sobers spinning off, puts it away, doesn't get the shot, but he did draw the foul.
I tell you, Ricky Sobers really feels that he can post Norm Nixon anytime he gets ready. I don't know if that would have been a good percentage shot, but Norm Nixon appears to have bailed him out. And Ricky Sobers has 2 free throws. And, of course, at this juncture of the game, any type of basket or free throws is going to help.
Jerry West up and down off the bench as Ricky Sobers is at the free throw line. Knows that basket.
It's a good bounce.
They can vary, can't it, around the league?
Well, I tell you, those baskets here, the baskets here, are very tight, and you really have to shoot the ball pretty true.
How about the old Madison Square Garden when you came up? They used to have the guy wires going up to the cheap seats and they'd shake the basket. We'll go to the free throw line, the basket be shaking.
You can shoot it 5 feet wide, and it will probably take a good bounce to go in.
So 98-94 is the count as Jerry West brings his team over now for a session, a timeout session with 1:31 left to play. 98-94, the Indiana Pacers in the lead. What do you think Jerry West has got to say?
I don't know. He wants to come down and probably get he would probably want to go inside to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Don't forget, next Sunday, it all happens here on CBS, Super Bowl Sunday. At 4:30 Eastern Time, the Super Bowl today, direct from New Orleans, and then at 6 o'clock, the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys tee it up in the 12th Super Bowl game at the New Orleans Superdome. That's next Sunday here on CBS. You'll also be seeing NBA basketball. Next week, it'll be Chicago playing at Detroit, and part of the country, the rest of the country will see the Boston Celtics and the Portland Trailblazers. Following that, we go to Phoenix for golf, and then on to New Orleans for the big game. Super Sunday.
Super Sunday. Well, I have to get you to sign a piece of paper on Denver and Dallas.
Yeah, but we got something going, don't we? Now here is, they call this the Function Junction here in Indiana. They're getting right down on the Indiana Pacerettes. Indiana holding to a 4-point lead, 98-94.
Okay, right down the stretch now, it's going to be important for the Lakers to try to get a good shot right now, because they really can't afford to have any mistakes right around this juncture of the game, because Indiana has a 4-point lead and time is against the Lakers.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has 17 points. He got almost all of them in the first half, and then he had the foul trouble in the third quarter, picking up his 5th. In the first half, Kareem scored 8 points, got some more early in the third period, and then was out of the bench. And now Norm Nixon drills it to make it a 2-point game again.
Good shot. They wanted to go inside with that ball, John, but the Pacers are playing a good defensive game. They're shutting off the pass to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
1:14 left to go in the basketball game. Indiana with the ball in the 2-point lead. Edwards takes a look. People cut. Sobers is left free. A big shot does not go. The offensive rebound goes to Roundfield. He was fouled by Abernathy. And we're going to have the Chevrolet MVP. And I have to like what, to this point, just Dan Roundfield's done.
For a guy that wasn't supposed to play, he's been very active around the board. He's made a couple of good key rebounds, and that right there was a big rebound for Indiana. Let's see if he can convert the 2 free throws.
That's a 3-point advantage now for Indiana, 99-96 with 102 left to play. So the Pacers will be tough to catch now as Roundfield has come off the bench despite a bad hand and scored 16 points and play an overall excellent floor game. Kareem gets it down low, guns it right out to Nixon. The little guy takes it in. He is rejected by Roundfield. John Williamson running the game clock down now as he skitters all over the court, bouncing the basketball. 40 seconds left to play, 196 Indiana.
That was a smart play by John Williamson that time, Don. He held the ball up
Kareem goes for the steal. Nixon takes the ball away and commits a foul. So with 30 seconds left to play in the game, it is Indiana 100, Los Angeles 96, and Indiana goes back to the free throw line. Williamson will be there.
Coming down, I thought for a moment John Williamson was going to take that shot against Norm Nixon, but very smartly, he pulled up and came back out with the ball, and that's good heads-up basketball.
The Lakers threatened, but when they got right up tight, they could not make the knot. They could not tie it up. And Indiana now opens up a 5-point lead with 30 seconds to play. Five guys have to collapse for Los Angeles to win it now, but they're going to give it a full shot with 30 seconds to go. Jerry West signals his team to call a timeout. Indiana 102, Los Angeles 96. Leading scorer in the game is John Williamson of Indiana with 24. Ricky Sobers has hit 20. Roundfield with 16 points. Bannon has 10. For the Lakers, Dantley, the leading scorer with 21 points. Kareem has 17. Lou Hudson, 13. Charlie Scott hit 9 before he fouled out. Abernathy has 8. Robish hit 7. Wilkes has 8.
I tell you, I like the way Don Roundfield has played today. Of course, John Williamson has been the big scorer for the Pacers.
Roundfield gets my vote.
I'm kind of leaning toward Roundfield myself.
30 seconds away from a very big victory for the Indiana Pacers. As Dancing Harry is doing his number across the way while Jerry Last, Ahmed Edlin, tries to get his team. What do you do now at 30 seconds to go? You've got to fire it up awful fast, Casey.
Of course, the Lakers will have to get up a quick shot and hope for a couple of steals. It's going to be kind of tough with 30 seconds because, of course, it can be done. Indiana should play smart. Will probably call timeout if L.A. scores.
I'd certainly like to thank those people who are just credited visually. Bill Barnes, our producer, Bob Dunphy, our director, Marv Muse, our associate producer, Marty Murphy, EIC, engineer in charge. 30 seconds to go at Indiana. It's 102-96.
He's played a good ball game.
Nixon, as Williamson goes after the ball. Nixon is fouled, so with 29 seconds left, only a second was used. Norm Nixon goes to the free throw line. The penalty's in effect.
Not a foul-baited type of move by John Williamson at that time. They don't need the foul. Of course, with the time running out.
Well, anybody that's been around the NBA, and not usually for very long, sees something strange in a team coming from 6 points down with 30 seconds to go.
I tell you.
Norm Nixon with the one and the penalty shot. Oh, it hurt. Hurt the Lakers. Didn't go. Here comes the penalty. Got the roll. Now the Lakers press full court. Jabbar has the ball. Out to Don Ford, to sweet Lou Hudson, who fires. Goes! The Lakers are now back to within 3 with 23 seconds left. What do we have here? Jake O'Donnell's blowing the whistle. Technical foul. Coach West might have got one.
I want to catch this one. I don't know. Is it?
Right in my face, he hollered. I got to call it.
I think Norm Nixon called a timeout.
Let's see. Well, at any rate, we have 23 seconds. The clock is stopped as the official, Jake O'Donnell, goes over. I think that's what he's done. It's not the 2 index fingers. It's the timeout signal he's giving.
The technical foul is called against the L.A. bench for calling timeout. Illegally, the scoring team.
Yeah. L.A. scored, then called a timeout. You can't do that. The other team had possession of the basketball, so a technical foul is assessed against Los Angeles, and down at the other end is Ricky Sobers.
When they put up the basket, they were down 6. Norm Nixon made 1 free throw. 3 points.
They got the points up for Lou.
Okay.
Hudson on the jumper.
Sobers missed the technical.
Sobers missed the technical.
On the bench because of an illegal timeout on the scoring team.
Hey, that's a tough one because Indiana gets possession of the ball and 23 seconds showing the game clock. You get 24.
That could be a three-point switch there. If you're down by 3.
23 seconds left to play. We remind you that right now at Madison Square Garden, Bjorn Borg and Jimmy Connors are completing their warm-ups, getting set to go after it in the finals of the Grand Prix Masters Tennis Tournament. You'll be seeing that here on CBS following this NBA game. More NBA basketball coming up next week at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Portland versus Boston at Boston Garden. And Chicago versus Detroit. You'll see one of those two games in your area as the NBA on CBS continues right through the championship series in May. Last season, the Lakers, as all of their fans know, were the winningest regular season club in the league. They had 53 victories. Right now, their record's going to drop to 17-21 through 38 games.
They've had, of course, some tough luck. They've had injuries. They have new personnel. It's going to take a while for them to start gelling. But I'm sure when it comes playoff time, I think the Lakers will probably be there because they have too much talent not to be in the playoffs.
But Jerry West says if we can just make the playoffs, we're going to be a real factor. We're going to be real tough.
As Dick Van Nation say, just get me there.
Timeout, Indiana.
Next Sunday is Super Sunday on CBS as we have a timeout on the floor here. 23 seconds to play. Indiana leading 102-99. NBA basketball at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Following that, it is Phoenix Open Golf from Arizona. And following that, directly to New Orleans for the NFL today. Super Bowl Sunday, and then the big game itself at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. The Broncos and the Cowboys. The Pokes.
I'm going with Bronco Mania. That should be a good game.
This is Don Criqui with Cassie Russell back at Indianapolis, 102-99. Just 23 seconds to play. Indiana with the ball in the three-point lead. The Lakers have to foul. They're going to steal. Hudson looks for Ford. Don Ford puts it up. Too much out of Kareem fouls with 16 seconds left. The Lakers are back to within 1. And now Indiana calls the timeout. Tell you one thing.
There's a lot of action going on in this game.
Nobody's leaving. Nobody's leaving this one.
29 seconds, I tell you.
Young ladies come out now to boogie a little bit more as Bob Leonard, I guess, just wants to get his team to hold on to the ball. That's all they have to do for 16 seconds, but the Lakers are going to be all over the man with the basketball.
As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, Norm Nixon missing that first free throw, giving you the odd number. Now the Lakers are down by 1. If he had made both free throws, it probably would have been tied. I'm sure the Lakers probably would have preferred to be tied, but the Lakers get the ball again, they could probably take a shot and win the game.
Well, we'll find out. We remind you that as soon as this game is over here at Indianapolis, we'll be switching to Madison Square Garden for live coverage of the Grand Prix Masters final between Connors and Borg. Jerry West with Stan Albeck and Jack McCluskey. They have a three-man tandem.
What they're probably doing, and I'm looking at Jack McCluskey, they're probably setting up that zone defense now, zone press, or full court press, or whatever you want to call it, to try to get the ball. They got to create something because they only have 16 seconds left.
That's legal, the full court zone press.
If Indiana calls timeout, they have an option of either taking it out at half court or in the back court. More than likely, they'll take it out at half court. Full court press does probably sound better, doesn't it?
16 seconds to go. Indiana with a 1-point lead, 102-101, and Indiana will inbound the ball as McCluskey's on his feet shouting out the defensive position.
Indiana doesn't need
Don't forget Grand Prix tennis. Connors and Borg in the finals immediately following as soon as this game is over. Here is Sobers, and Getting the ball inbounds is Roundfield, and he is fouled by Norm Nixon. And Dan Roundfield, who is our most valuable player choice in this game,
I agree, Don.
has going to the free throw line.
I think he's played an excellent ball game coming off the bench.
Lakers down by 5 at the half. We're down by 10 at the end of the third period as Brad Davis, the rookie from Maryland, comes in. There are 6 players drafted in the first round of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Walter Davis of Phoenix, Lagarde of Denver, Davis of the LA Lakers, Wayne Rollins of Atlanta, Kate Armstrong of Chicago.
Good pressure free throw by Roundfield there.
That is the evening. The party is over for Los Angeles. A 3-point lead for Indiana. 12 seconds to go. Brad Davis dumps it off to Kareem. Jump passing inside to Sweet Lou. He'll put it up. Arcing it up and in with 5 seconds on the clock. Sobers holds the ball in the backcourt. 2 seconds, 1 second. 104 to 103 is the final number. The Indiana Pacers hold on, but they win it. Our Chevrolet Most Valuable Player goes to Dan Roundfield of the Indiana Pacers. His overall excellent team play and a $1,000 scholarship goes to his college, Dan Roundfield from Central Michigan, a $1,000 scholarship awarded to Central Michigan on behalf of Dan Roundfield as the Indiana Pacers win the basketball game 104 to 103. Now for Cassie Russell, this is Don Criqui. We thank you for joining us and remind you that Connors versus Borg is coming up next live here on CBS. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
Many accidents are now occurring in the Indianapolis area on icy and snow-covered roads.
What was the last
A
team you
reminder,
played?
we'll be back here next Friday night, the 13th, 8:05 tip-off.
Thank you.
As Indiana takes on the Kansas City Kings, don't forget those road games on radio and television during the week on Tuesday and Thursday.
What did the...
Remember, Steak and Shake wants to celebrate today's victory by offering a winning order of Steak and Shake French fries for your
time is
ticket stub. Again, drive with extreme caution. We thank you for being here today, and good afternoon, everybody.
University of Michigan. Give you 3.
Yeah, what for?
Excuse me.